Welcome back, everyone. For this week's episode of Pindrop Perspectives, we're diving into a sci-fi action screenplay called The Airman. Let's kick things off with our hosts, Mark and Jen.
All right, buckle up, everybody, because today we are diving deep into The Airman.
Ooh, color me intrigued.
We've got script excerpts and a synopsis for this planned action movie. And wow, it's a wild ride. We're talking government secrets, crazy tech, maybe even a little bit of the paranormal.
This is right up our alley.
Right. I mean, who doesn't love a good conspiracy thriller?
Especially when it involves Area 51.
Oh, yeah. That's where this whole thing kicks off. The opening scene takes us back 20 years to a top-secret experiment at Area 51. And at the center of it all is this thing called a psychotronic helmet.
Psychotronic, huh? That's a word you don't hear every day.
Right. And the script doesn't really define it, but it seems like it's some kind of device that's supposed to interact with human consciousness.
Maybe even bridge the gap between the living and the dead.
That's the implication. And that's where things start to get really creepy.
Well, the whole idea of messing with the afterlife is bound to get a little spooky.
Totally. But it also raises some interesting questions, right? Like, is this purely science fiction, or is there some basis in reality?
I mean, think about it. There are real scientists out there studying near-death experiences and consciousness beyond the brain. So who knows, maybe the Airman is tapping into some genuine anxieties about what we might uncover.
Exactly. And it's not just the tech that's unsettling. The scene also introduces us to General William Davenport. And let me tell you, this guy is intense.
Yeah, he definitely gives off a don't mess with me vibe.
Oh, yeah, big time. And there's this palpable tension between him and the scientists, especially Scott's father, Jonah Lambert.
You can tell they have very different views on how the experiment should proceed.
It's like Davenport is all about results, no matter the cost, while the scientists are trying to, proceed with caution ethically.
Which makes you wonder if this clash of approaches is what ultimately leads to the experiment going so wrong.
Because it goes wrong, big time. The experiment results in a massive explosion, killing Scott's parents and another scientist, Rose Davenport. And we'll get to her connection to the general later.
Talk about a tragic start to the story.
It really sets the stage for everything that follows, right? It's not just an action movie. It's a story about trauma, loss, and how the past can haunt you.
And speaking of haunted, let's fast forward to the present day, where we find Scott struggling with recurring nightmares of that horrific night. And get this, he always wakes up at the same time, 2:53 a.m.
Yeah, that's definitely not a coincidence. It's like his subconscious is trying to tell him something.
Like maybe there's more to the story than he realizes.
Right, like he's reliving something specific, trying to remember a detail he's forgotten. And as if the nightmares weren't bad enough, Scott's life takes another crazy turn when he starts being stalked by this mysterious hitman.
Okay, hold on. So we've got a haunted hero and now an assassin. This is getting good.
I told you, this story is a wild ride.
So is this hitman connected to the nightmares, or is it something else entirely?
That's the million-dollar question. The script keeps you guessing. Is Scott just paranoid, or is there a real threat?
It's like those classic thriller tropes, right? The unreliable narrator, the hidden agendas. You never know who to trust.
And then just when you think things can't get any weirder, Scott's boss, Carol, is killed. And at first it seems like a random act of violence, but later we learn that she was urging Scott to, deal with his nightmares, talk to her husband, a psychologist.
Wait a minute. So was she trying to protect Scott? Or did she know something she shouldn't have?
I know, right? It's another one of those loose ends the script throws at you.
I'm starting to think everyone in this story has a secret.
Oh, they definitely do. And speaking of secrets, let's talk about Sarah Davenport. She enters the picture as a potential love interest for Scott. But then, plot twist. She turns out to be an NSA agent assigned to protect him.
Okay, that's a good twist. I didn't see that coming.
And it gets even crazier. Ready for this? Her father is none other than William Davenport, the presidential candidate we met back at Area 51.
Whoa, hold on. So the general from 20 years ago is now running for president. And his daughter is an NSA agent protecting the guy whose parents died in his experiment.
You got it. Talk about family drama.
This is some next level stuff right here.
Right. And you, the listener, are right there with Scott trying to figure out who's on whose side and what's really going on.
I'm hooked already. This is like The X-Files meets The Bourne Identity with a dash of Inception thrown in.
And we're just getting started. Wait till we get to the road trip to Area 51, the escape from the Pentagon, and the truly chilling truth about William Davenport's ultimate goal.
Oh man, I can't wait.
Buckle up, because this is going to be one heck of a ride.
It's crazy how the Airman flips the script on us, especially with Sarah. At first, she's like this tough agent, all business, but then you find out about her family history and, wow, talking about baggage.
Yeah, her dad is General Davenport, and her mom, Rose, was actually at Area 51 during the experiment with Scott's parents. It's like everyone's connected by tragedy.
It's like fate or something. But hey, all that family drama aside, this script knows how to deliver on the action.
Oh, yeah. And it's not just mindless action either. It actually reveals a lot about the character.
Totally. Like that escape from the Pentagon parking lot. Sarah is like a total badass behind the wheel, thinking on her feet.
Right. She's not your typical damsel in distress.
Yeah.
And all this is happening while Scott's having those crazy nightmares, remember? The ones that always wake him up at 2:53 a.m.
Oh, yeah, those nightmares.
Yeah.
It's like they're giving him pieces of a puzzle he can't quite put together.
Exactly. And now those pieces are starting to line up with what's happening in real life, like the Pentagon, the Washington Monument. Those were in his dream.
And they just had close calls at those exact places. Now they're heading to Area 51. Just like in his dream. It's like his dreams are showing him the future.
But they're also super cryptic, right? So it's hard to tell if they're warnings or if they're somehow leading him into danger.
That's what keeps the suspense going. You never know what's going to happen next.
And speaking of unexpected, just when you think General Davenport is on their side, bam, he betrays them. He captures Scott at Area 51 and even orders Sarah to be killed.
I know. I was like, what just happened? That's when you realize how deep this conspiracy goes.
And what Davenport's true goal is, he's not just grieving for his wife. He's obsessed with the idea of cheating death.
He believes Jonah Lambert, Scott's father, actually made contact with the afterlife during the experiment.
And now he wants to use Scott to do the same thing, to basically unlock the secrets of immortality. I mean, talk about playing God.
It's a pretty terrifying thought, right? The idea that someone could control life and death, it makes you think about how far we should go with science.
Yeah, where do we draw the line? And then we get to this really intense scene where they're prepping Scott for surgery.
And that surgery scene. It's rough.
Yeah, this Dr. Fournier is about to cut into Scott's brain, and you're just waiting for Sarah to come bursting in and save the day.
But she's locked up. Seems like all hope is lost.
Right. But you know Sarah, she's not giving up that easily. She manages to escape, overpowers the guards, even remembers to swap clothes with some lab assistants.
I love that she thinks of that. It's such a small detail, but it shows how quick she is.
Totally. And she gets to Scott just in the nick of time, literally seconds before they start cutting into his brain.
Talk about a close call.
And their escape from Area 51, even more insane. They steal an F-18 and manage to crash land it outside Vegas.
Okay, that's just straight up movie magic.
Right. It's like suddenly Scott's this amazing pilot. Who knew? It makes you wonder what other secrets he's hiding.
Maybe those dreams are unlocking some hidden potential, Like maybe he's not just an ordinary guy after all.
I mean, who crashes an F-18 and walks away? So they're free from Area 51, but now they're fugitives. And they know Davenport is still out there planning something even bigger.
And we still don't know exactly what that plan is, right?
Right. And then there's the assassin, Caleb Littany. He's like this phantom, always lurking in the shadows. We still don't know what his motives are. Is he loyal to Davenport? Is he just in it for the money? Or is there something else going on?
So many unanswered questions.
Yeah.
But I guess that's what keeps us coming back for more.
It's like this giant puzzle where the pieces are slowly starting to fit together, but there's still some big gaps.
And I have a feeling those gaps are going to be filled with some pretty mind-blowing revelations.
Oh, yeah. Things are about to get really intense.
As we take a brief break from our episode, it's worth reminding all of our listeners that you can find the Pindrop Perspectives podcast on Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts. Please like, comment, and subscribe to let us know what you're enjoying or how we can improve. By subscribing, you'll have a new episode waiting for you every Monday. All right, let's jump back into the episode. Take it away, Jen.
Okay, so they made it out of Area 51 alive.
Barely.
But now they're on the run, fugitives. And with a presidential candidate on their tail, what would you do?
I don't even know. I mean, this is way beyond just calling the cops.
Right. We're talking about a guy with serious power, resources, a whole network of people.
And don't forget the assassin. Still out there somewhere.
Yeah, Caleb Littany. He's been a real wild card this whole time. We still don't really know why he's doing this.
Is Is he just a hired gun? Does he actually believe in Davenport's vision? It's hard to say.
The script leaves that pretty open to interpretation. But one thing's for sure, the danger's not over. Not even close. Scott and Sarah are back in D.C., and they know Davenport's got something big planned.
Something to do with those dreams, maybe? Remember that line? Reach for the stars.
Oh, yeah. And now that we know what Davenport's after, it takes on a whole new meaning. What if he's trying to do something that could affect everyone?
Some kind of mass experiment. I mean, if he's willing to operate on one guy to try and contact the afterlife.
Who knows what he's capable of? This isn't just about Scott anymore. It could be a threat to the whole country. So, listener, what do you think? Can they stop him?
They're definitely up against some serious odds. No resources, no backup, just their wits and each other.
And maybe, just maybe, something more.
What do you mean?
Think about it. Scott's been having these dreams. Terrifying, sure. But what if they're more than just nightmares? What if they're the key to stopping Davenport?
Like, he develops some kind of power.
Maybe. The script hints at the idea that Scott's mind could be the key to all of this. The key to understanding the afterlife, and maybe even using that knowledge to save the day.
It's definitely a possibility. I mean, there are all kinds of theories about what our minds are truly capable of.
And that's what I love about the Airman. It blends action and suspense with these big, mind-bending questions about consciousness and reality. So where does it all lead? Well, I don't want to give too much away, but the final showdown happens at the Washington Monument.
Makes sense. It's like a symbol of everything at stake.
Exactly. And the ending. Let's just say it's the kind of ending that leaves you thinking long after the credits roll. It gives you some answers, but also raises even more questions.
It's been a wild ride, this deep dive. We've gone from Area 51 to the Pentagon, from shadowy assassins to the very nature of life and death.
And if the Airman ever hits theaters, you can bet we'll be first in line to see it all play out on the big screen. But until then, keep those theories coming, listeners. What do you think Davenport's ultimate plan was? What happens to Scott and Sarah? And most importantly, what do those dreams really mean? Let us know. And as always, thanks for joining us for another deep dive.
If you enjoyed this episode and are interested in the script, you can request a copy of it by contacting Pindrop Entertainment. Next week, to coincide with the season finale of Marvel's Daredevil Born Again, Mark and Jen will be analyzing a spec script set in the same universe, titled Daredevil Without Fear. Okay, folks, it's been a pleasure. And as always, remember, keep your perspective open. Artificial intelligence was used to assist in generating audio content for this episode.